Good morning, everybody. So we have a very interesting topic today. I want to talk about the saying, quitters never win and winners never quit. Because part of that's true, part of it's not, part of it needs a little bit more detail. And so we're going to dive into that today and kind of teach you to think about how you should think about quitting, right? So, there's a process to it. Most people, they don't think about when to give something up in the right way. They just their whole process about it is scattered. It's like, oh well, this is hard, or oh, I've had enough. It's very emotional. It's very short term. It's very, this is how I'm feeling right now. And the truth is that doesn't serve you. Doesn't serve anybody, right? So let's just dissect this, right? So let's start with the saying. So quitters never win and winners never quit. Well, let's just say winners never quit, right? Let's take that half of it. If you're doing something that you hate, if you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing in the first place, if you're doing something that makes you miserable and doesn't get you towards your goals in life, well, then why wouldn't you quit, right? Just sticking in something just because you happen to have started it when you were less informed and didn't understand yourself and somebody else told you to, and sticking with it for years and decades or whatever, right? Making it a matter of pride of being stubborn there is not useful, right? Nobody wins, right? If you're doing something that you hate. The company you're working for doesn't win, you don't win, your family doesn't win, nobody wins, right? Now, the first part where it says quitters never win, that's true, because I guarantee you that whatever it is you really do want to do, whatever it is that really does drive you, is going to require a hell of a lot of work, right? There is absolutely zero question. If you want to create an outstanding life, you're going to have to work your ass off. And if you're the kind of person who just quits when things get hard, you're not going to make it, okay? So let's look at this from three different angles, okay? Three different reasons why you might quit and how you look at each one. So the first one is, are you moving towards a goal that really inspires you? If you're not going in the right direction, then of course you need to quit, right? If your goal is to, for a geographical example, if your goal is to drive from New York to LA and you're going, you get to Nebraska and then you turn around and you start going to Florida and you're going east instead of west, well, then of course you need to quit that drive because you're not going where you want to go, right? So if you're not going where you want to go, then you need to abandon that enterprise entirely as soon as humanly possible. Now, the second thing is, it's possible that you're going where you want to go, but the method you're using is either not likely to get you there, or it's going to take a really long time, or it relies on some set of conditions that's really unlikely or whatever, right? So this is, well, hey, listen, you're moving towards a goal that you want, but the method that you're using is not the best means to get there, right? And if that's, like, for example, you're driving from New York to LA and you are riding a horse instead of driving a car, okay? Riding a horse is not the best way to get from New York to LA. Hell, the best way would be a plane, but hey, that's another story, right? And in that case, you don't want to quit pursuing your dream, but you do want to quit using a method that is not effective, right? So in that case, you don't want to be stubborn and say, oh, I have to do it this way. Oh, I have to do it this way because I'm not a quitter, right? You want to be flexible and say, hey, listen, I'm still committed to my goal, but I'm going to work smarter and I'm going to do this more effectively so that I can get there faster. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, the point where we say, hey, listen, quitters never win, and this is the third reason, this is where you cannot think like this, is when people say, oh, this is too hard, I quit, right? And I've seen this a lot with entrepreneurs with entrepreneurial ADD, is they're trying some methodology and it's going to get them to their goal. And yes, it's going to take 2 years of hard work or 3 years of hard work, but it's going to get them there. It's not something that's going to take, 50 years and rely on, something that has a 2% chance of happening or whatever, right? It's 2 or 3 years of hard work, but they don't like that. They don't like the hard work. It makes them unhappy. And so they just give up. They just throw up their hands and give up, right? That mentality, you will never win. Not a chance, right? So those are the three different options, right? Why are you looking at quitting? Is it because you're not getting to a goal that inspires you? If so, absolutely 100% quit, move on, and start doing what really matters to you. And then don't give up when you're doing something that really matters. Stay committed to that goal. Are you giving up on a process, not a goal, but a process that isn't working and isn't serving you and isn't moving you towards your goal in a realistic time frame? If that's the case, you're not really giving up. You're just being smarter about how you're getting there, right? That's not really quitting. It's just reevaluating your strategy. And then the last one is, are you quitting just because things are hard? Because if you're quitting because things are hard and you don't want to put in 3 years of hard work and, this whole thing, just isn't worth it to you, well, then either A, you're not really shooting for something that really inspires you in the first place, and you might want to reevaluate that first one, or B, you're lazy. And if you're lazy, you're never gonna live an outstanding life. It just doesn't work that way. So guys, that's the way to think about it. If you are committed, right? I'm gonna type this note in here in the chat here. So if you are committed and you are trying to either get clear on that goal that inspires you or get clear on a process that's actually going to get you there, then I'm, when it comes to your career, right, I am the right person to talk to, right? So if you're saying, hey, listen, I don't know what I want to do in my job. I don't know. I don't like where I'm at. I don't know where I want to go, what I want to do. Or if you do know where you want to go and what you want to do, but you just don't know how to get there, I'm great at helping with that. So, you can go to this link. You can go to www.oculusinstitute.com/scheduling. You can book a free call with me. We'll talk about, what's not working, where you want to go to the extent that and what's standing in the way. And we can talk about, the best next steps to get there, right? So, for example, maybe it's time for you to get on a plane instead of trying to ride a horse across the country and speed things up. If you're in that last group who's like, hey, listen, I just don't want to do the hard work and I'm lazy and it's hard, then don't bother calling me, just to be honest with you, because I'm not going to be able to help you. I may be able to help you by directing you towards resources to help change that. But I certainly won't be able to give you the guidance that you're looking for, right? I only work with the committed. If you are committed, then I can 100%, I can help you, and it's going to be awesome. And you have a bright future ahead of you. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about getting clear on something that really matters and being willing to work your ass off for it, right? An example of that, I knew of a kid named Mubarak in Somalia. I was on the board of a nonprofit, and he wanted to be an engineer. He wanted to graduate with an engineering degree in the United States. He was a goat herder who could not read. He scavenged newspapers from trash cans, and he learned to read. And then he walked across the country to the one school in the whole country where he had a chance of getting into an American university. He worked his ass off, but he got into MIT with a full ride, and he graduated with 2 engineering degrees. So something to think about. Guys, I will talk to you all in a couple of days, and I wish you the best. Cheers.